Sean's POV. It's time, the crew said as he opened the door for me. This was it. Even if I didn't land this role, I promised myself one thing. I would shake Rab's hand. That alone would be enough. I straightened my shoulders, lifted my chin, and smiled as I stepped inside. I imagined a courtroom. Wooden benches, heavy silence. And me, Etuer Lance Collin, standing tall, delivering yet another remarkable trial. My confidence surged, hitting its peak. I carried myself the way a remarkable attorney would. Measured steps, controlled breathing, certainty in every movement. I was about to announce myself. But then, I was taken aback. I stood frozen as I felt time to stop. In front of me sat 4 people. 3 of them were familiar faces, people I had worked with before. But the only person I was hoping to see wasn't there at all. Instead, there was this lady. Everyone else was looking at me. She wasn't. Her attention was fixed on the folder in front of her. Lips pressed into a thin line, brows knitted tightly together. Her eyes glared at the pages like they had personally offended her. She looked fierce, dangerous, intimidating. And yet, she was wearing an oversized yellow t-shirt with a bubbly Powerpuff Girls bubbles printed on it. Huh? Powerpuff Girls? I froze. My brain couldn't process it. The shirt screamed cheerful, soft, and harmless. But her aura? It suggested murder. She radiated a killing vibe, sharp, impatient, unyielding. The contrast hit me so hard I forgot how to breathe, and at that moment, it felt like we were the only 2 people in the room. It's such an honor to have you audition us here today, Sean. As usual, you can deliver any dialogue from your chosen scene. The producer's voice reached me, distant and blurred, like it came from underwater. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. All my attention was on her, while all of her attention remained on the folder. It felt like I didn't exist in her world at all, but my world seems to revolve around her. My chest tightened. Look at me, I begged almost silently. This wasn't the scene I practiced. But I loved the book so much I had memorized every word, every emotion. And suddenly, this moment felt exactly like one of my favorite scenes. The confession. Can you just for once, can you try not to avoid my eyes? For once I want to stare directly into it and tell you. I delivered the script flawlessly, like I had practiced it 1,000 times. I moved forward, toward her. She felt like a magnet, an unseen force I couldn't resist, pulling me in despite myself. I love you. The words came out wrong, too soft, too desperate. It sounded like begging. I stiffened. No, this scene was supposed to be assertive, confident, certain. I was supposed to declare my love, not plead for it. I screwed up. I sighed, frustration cutting deep. My hand curled into a fist at my side, angry at my own stupidity. I dropped my gaze to the floor. Again, a demanding voice brings a shiver to my spine. When I looked up, I saw her eyes.
Rab's POV. I love you. My heart skipped the instant I heard the pleading tone in his voice. Suddenly, my mind turned into a full-blown circus. Scenarios colliding, overlapping, spiraling out of control. The weight behind those 3 words was heavy, almost unbearable. There was so much emotion in them that I froze. Breath caught somewhere in my chest before I slowly lifted my gaze. I knew this scene. I knew how I had written it. I remembered exactly how I imagined it to be delivered. Direct, unwavering, certain. That was how my Lance would say it. No hesitation, no cracks. So why did my heart ache when I heard it this way? It felt like I had just witnessed something I never intended to expose. Like I had stumbled upon a side of Lance that was never meant for the world to see. A fragile, vulnerable part he would only ever show to Alara. And yet, I wanted it. Again. The words slipped out before I could stop myself. I wanted to hear it again. Sean's eyes lifted and met mine. I knew I had already overstepped my boundaries, but I didn't care. Not now. Not when my chest felt this tight. I straightened in my seat and looked at him. Truly looked at him, bravely holding his gaze. He was looking back at me just as intently, as if his stare was calling out to mine. I love you. My chest grew heavier. Again. I love you. The pause shattered something inside me. My eyes glittered as heat rushed through my veins. Love? Why? Are you seriously kidding me right now? My voice rose, sharp and burning. My heart throbbed with anger. You won't talk to me. You won't stare at me. You acted like I don't exist even if I tried my hardest. Now you're telling me you love me? My voice echoed through the room as I say the exact words in the book. I knew I was ranting. No, screaming. The words poured out unchecked, fueled by something deeper than irritation. My chest heaved as I struggled to suppress the storm threatening to break loose. Alara was supposed to respond in panic, like she can't believe Lance would confess to her. But why was my response an accusing anger? Is it because he delivered it with so much emotion that I myself was responding in an emotion who could level his? Then, he cried. His eyes stayed locked on mine, tears blurring them but never breaking contact, as if he was speaking only to me. Me not talking to you is just me trying to not fall deeper to you. He smiled, not with confidence but with surrender. I only acted like you don't exist so you wouldn't know that you are my whole world. I have no plans on falling to someone, but here I was begging, hoping not to lose you for good.
Sean's POV. My heart ached so much I couldn't help it. Tears fell unbidden down my cheeks, and I instinctively pressed my hands to my chest, wanting to hold it in, to stop it from breaking completely. She slammed her hand against the table as she stood up. One sharp look to me, just one, and then she walked out, heading straight for the door on her side of the room. Everyone froze, speechless. So was I. I remembered this scene. In the book, it was supposed to be a solid confession. Lance, confident and unwavering, would declare his love in the most assertive, precise way. Alara, tender yet accusing, would respond in exactly the same words. And then, Lance would move to her, tenderly, lovingly, tell her how much she meant to him before sealing it with a kiss. That was the scene. But what happened now? I, as Lance, had begged for love, and Alara had exploded in anger, her tone sharp, accusing, burning through the exact words from the book. No ad-libs, no softening, and I delivered my confession. In regret, every syllable weighed down with remorse, every word trembling with vulnerability. Every tear is a silent apology. I could feel my chest tighten even more. I could feel my tears fall harder. I could feel everything I had imagined, everything I had prepared, twisting into something genuine, uncontrolled, and undeniably real. "Do you know Rab, Sean?" the director asked, pointing at the slammed door. "Rabby, she's Rab?" The word snapped me back to reality like a spell breaking. They all looked at each other. Diane, the director, then the producer, exchanging quick, knowing glances. "Rab just arrived yesterday. It was unlikely for her to meet and know Sean," Diane clarified. "True," the producer agreed. They all nodded in unison. Meanwhile, I stood there, completely starstruck, rooted to the floor. Rab. That woman was Rab? The most famous crime thriller author, Rab, red as blood, was wearing a Powerpuff Girls t-shirt, looking almost innocent, as if she wasn't the same mind that crafted the darkest crimes, the sharpest confessions, the most brutal truths. My head was spinning. Rab must be surprised to hear another version of her scene. "Even I was moved," Diane said, clearly impressed. The director and producer nodded. Even the cameraman who was filming gave me a thumbs up. I also loved the tension of the scene. A total lover's quarrel. "Oh, it's so hot and intense," the director exclaimed. Undeniable, satisfied. "Same words, different delivery. Intriguing," the producer added. Diane laughed softly in her seat, as if remembering something. "She's probably so pissed right now." She gestured at the director and the producer with a grin on her face. Then she looked at me and smiled. "I bet she's totally impressed with your acting, Sean." Was she? The question slipped out before I could stop it.